guess I'm introing.
You could have your baby do it.
Hello, welcome to Rules of Attrition on Character Builder Radio. We've been away from the game for a bit due to some timingness. Started a new campaign called Overtime, but now we're back at it. We're about to start session 12 of our Hardscrabble campaign. Let's do some introductions because it's been a moment. Starting with Mac.
Hello, I'm Mackenzie Mercer, and I'm playing Judge Abel Smith. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's going to be fun.
Same here, Judge. Ryan?
I am Ryan. I'm playing the Dwarf Barmenhorn, and I do not share my companion's optimism because it's probably not going to be fun.
Angie?
I play Anu Meadowsword, Cleric of Torm. It's never really been going well. I'd say we're on the up and up today.
All right, Ben?
Ben Stiers, I play Folker, and I don't know if you guys remember or not, but it is not all pleasant. Someone just created life with her mouth.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm Emma. I play Honoa Sumner. I have no idea what Folker is talking about. I'm having a great time. I just made a new friend. We can talk about that a little bit. So, last I remember,
Indeed.
we went on a little bit of a trip. Yeah?
No, I want to hear what you remember.
Oh, okay. Last I remember, we went on a bit of a trip and came back before my new best fish friend, Mal. A servant of Mal named Hinto Mai guided us to a little hideaway so we could rest and have some food and whatnot, with the promise that we would talk to Mal in the morning. Let's see here. So we fished a bit for some information about some visitors. I know, but about some visitors that had recently come to Hinto's master and spent some time speaking with each other. Folker made a jellyfishy friend. The judge told us a bit about his past and his connection with the Tarask. Anu was able to fix Barman's violin? Fiddle? Stringed instrument. With the help of some guidance from Torm. And Honoa had some kind of DM to player talk that no one was invited to. And in the morning vomited up a creature. So after that display of eldritch horror, that's where we find our crew. So why don't you take us away, DM Matt? Uh-oh, what did you do? Initiative 19! Oh shit! Nat 20!
Oh, God.
Abel,
Matt,
I'm starting the day. I don't know about the rest of you.
Abel, you've got a -1 to initiative?
Hell yeah, dude. Do you not remember the stats you stuck us with?
I didn't stick you with anything. You guys rolled.
You rolled one.
3d6 minus 12 or something. I don't remember what it was, but
It was straight up 3d6.
it was 3D shit. Is what it was.
3D shit. I've seen that before.
It was Jaws 3D shit. That's the kind of shit it was. It was 3d6 like where they land, right?
No, we moved him.
We didn't
No.
play it.
All right. But it was 2 sets of 3d6 and that was it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had to take my second set.
Can I... Do I have time to inspire the judge before he attacks Anoa?
I'm not attacking Honoa. I'm attacking the creature she just attacked with Eldritch Blast. Multiple
That
times.
I'm now, like, coddling.
It's on your shoulder. I'm screaming, it's on your
And
shoulder.
I'm like, hello, hi! Oh my gosh! That was crazy!
I'm just still making that face. Y'all know the face.
Well,
Are we in game?
yes. So, all that kind of happened. Was that at? I can't remember. Was that at the next morning when everybody woke up?
Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
all
early that morning.
we'd all rested.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that Noah took like the last
I think
watch.
most of
or
it gone through
whatever.
our watches. Or
I think you had gotten through. Everybody had gotten 8 hours, and then so I guess we'll pick up exactly where Honoa has a small little friend. It's a wispy, smoky type creature which kind of floats around her. It's tough to gauge. It's tough to actually look and see exactly what it is. It's not that it's not that it has ill-defined boundaries. It's got very defined boundaries, but it's just kind of slightly amorphous. And every now and then you can see some face. It does have limbs. It's got 2 arms, and you're guessing it probably has some legs. But it's kind of
I would like to reduce the number of limbs.
kind of like a small Dementor without a little less defined shape than that. The other thing is, everybody's attention is pretty much on Honoa and that, but Hentoamai is also there, and he has been stoked to the fire, and so there's a gentle glow in the room, and it's kind of warm. And even though it's a breakfast fire, which are the most ridiculous, horrible things in the world, there is food being cooked as Hentomai is leaned over, and he has a large iron skillet that has some sort of kind of almost like a pasta kind of gruel, which is being cooked.
Like Fazoli's?
Just kind of sitting on the edge of where the fire is at. And he has another large kind of mat of fungus, which is just sitting upon a bag. It's just on the ground. And the fungus is extremely thick. For a fungus, it's probably like 2 inches thick, but it's just like this mat of green, not really green, kind of gray crystalline looking fungus.
Does Hentai have any sort of like reaction towards the creature?
It doesn't appear. He doesn't look like he's giving any kind of reaction.
So wait, he was in here cooking this when all this went down? How'd we miss that?
Because everybody was just like looking, holy crap, at what I know.
He just wandered in and started up a cook fire. It's been working.
No.
The last 20 seconds.
No, he's been there the entire time. Since you guys woke up and found Honoa doing all that, and he just kind of stood by while that was.
I thought we woke her up because she was convulsing.
Yeah. So during all that was happening, he was there cooking.
Okay.
And has shown no emotions towards it.
He knows what's going on.
It hasn't taken a step back or anything.
Well, I mean, I'm deadly serious about the attack here. So.
Yeah, no, like I'm gonna say like, no, it's right the fuck on you. Don't move. We'll get it. Don't move, guys.
I think it's fine.
Inside check.
Okay. Just fucking do it.
My insight's awful. What did I get? It's a 3.
You think she's okay?
Get her, Ray.
She seems forthright.
You want me to roll anything?
Hang on, I'm putting your initiatives up.
Fuck. No. It's a friend. Intro was a little weird. It was an ally. I was promised an ally.
You can't work in more than 6 seconds worth of conversation while we're trying to set up action.
I can and I will. Give me the downtime and I will fill it.
It's saying on roll 20, Barman, that you've attempted to make 2 rolls, but the results were never received.
I just got that 3 roll. It should be fine.
Okay, and that's your attempt at an insight when she says.
Yeah.
It's fine, I think.
Okay. I can't whisper to you, but she doesn't appear to be giving any kind of deception, and she doesn't seem concerned.
Oh no!
Since
Yeah.
You've got something just right here.
I think this is Bug. I introduced you guys to Bug, right?
No.
Yeah. Who's under the sheet?
Yeah, but this one doesn't have your skeet sheet on it.
I went through a change. Bug, say hello. Yeah, see? It's a Bug.
Bug does speak, and speaks common, and it's a low voice, but it's also very difficult to hear, as it pretty much just says.
That does not
Hello.
sound. That does not sound healthy.
No, it was singing. Hello.
Certainly nothing to be concerned about. No.
Abel, you're.
I
No
mean,
one
I
else is
attacked
listening?
like 2 minutes
Dancing
ago.
on me?
so
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
that's a well. Okay, how are you attacking?
Halberd swing. I yelled, "It's on your shoulder," and swung.
Okay.
Okay, hell, man.
All right.
Only a 12. Thank you.
12 would hit me.
I'm not attacking you. I think you just attacked something.
Oh, man. Flip, flip.
Hanoa
Oh,
jumps.
does not hit.
Hanoa jumps out of the way, and also the little thing, the little black amorphous shape, quickly and deftly just kind of moves out of the way as well, and moves out of the way of your attack.
Excuse you?
Let's see if that thing can dodge an arrow.
Do you have any wrenches?
Can we, not attack me, please? I've had a hard morning.
At least
I
Hanoa,
think it has control over.
go ahead and roll at least an initiative. So
Want to? It's a 5.
okay, Folker, you see that Abel has attacked and missed. Do you need to do anything? Hanoa is at least shouting something, saying, "Hey, hey!"
Oh, my one saving grace rolled less than me. Fuck.
I'm gonna roll a d20, and if it's 10 or less, I'm pretty sure I can make the shot, and if it's 11 or more, then I'm gonna hold my shot simply because I'm not sure if I'm gonna hit her in the head. Alright, with a 19, I'm a little concerned about possibly putting an arrow through her head, so I'm going to knock an arrow and hold it.
Hanoa seems to be fairly excited and kind of moving about, and the thing seems to be kind of keeping somewhat near, like her shoulder-ish, as if it's not attached to it, but as if it wants to be there. So every time she moves, it purposefully moves nearer to where she's said for it to be.
I'm not going to roll initiative. I'm just going to go after it on you.
Okay. All right, Hanoa. How do I get these things in descending order? I've forgotten everything all the time. Oh, wrong.
Here,
Hanoa, it's your turn.
I can just write them down.
I got it.
I've never done anything to harm any of you guys. I don't know why you're trying to attack me now. Please just understand. This is I promise you, it's absolutely fine. This is my new friend. I want to roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
And a 6, because I still can't do things. Yeah. And I'm also going to guide Bug to be behind me.
You were just shooting the hell out of that thing a second ago, yeah?
I was told to.
Oh, good. So
The voices in your head told you.
weird voices in your head told you to shoot that thing, and now that
They
thing's
don't
trying to
live
get
in
you
my
not to
head, but that's where they go to.
shoot it. I think that thing's got you possessed, Noah.
We have a cleric here. The cleric can check. I will allow her to get near me and check if I am possessed. On you, please.
Hey.
Help me, for the love of God.
If she's possessed, you give me the sign.
What is the sign for she is possessed? I need to know.
She is possessed.
Be gone
I
from
am
this house.
also going to spend movement. Try to... At the start, I would have backed away because I got swiped at.
Okay. So moving, essentially, I mean, there's not a lot of room in here, but you're going to kind of move, put your back towards. Remember, there was a bunch of dilapidated, rotting shelves kind of on 2 of the walls. So you're just going to kind of back up into that.
I'll allow myself to get backed into a corner, yeah.
Okay. All right, you back up into that. You kind of take a stumble a little bit backwards, but you catch yourself as you step on all that rotting stuff that's back there, and as you back up, just some of the shelves just fall just a little bit, but that's it. Okay.
Okay.
And so you're telling Anu to have her check me out.
Check
have
me
her...
out.
Okay.
Give me a once over, whatever, 3 over. Ah.
So here's the thing. You threw us into this nonsense without me being able to prepare my spells. So technically, I don't know that I can do this.
Well, you had a full rest, didn't you?
I did, but
She hasn't taken the time to
unless you prepare spells,
bless up.
you're stuck with what
You're
you...
just stuck with the spells you knew the day before. You still have
Right.
can cast them all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I can cast him, but
And there are ritual spells if you have anything that you can cast. It'll take 10 minutes if you can persuade
Yeah.
anybody.
I'm sure that's gonna go real well. I'll just sit in a corner while these guys start poking my friend. No, fuck it. I'm going to grab.
Sacred Flame? What? Sorry.
I'm going to reach in my pocket and I'm going to say a
build a
word
bridge
that
over
I
it.
can't recall offhand. Hold on. Because it's been a while and I haven't done this.
It's been.
Yes, man.
It's been 1 month since I cast a spell. And I'm going to say Korhaz, and I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Honoa.
Which way is the shield facing?
Oh, fuck, this is gonna go great. That's what I've got. And I am going to say, hold, we don't know what this is, but there's no need to cost her in the moment. And then I'll just say, if she says she's not under harm,
What is your talisman or your thing or your what is your symbol of
It's
your
a-
god look like?
it's a white raw stone.
It's just but it's like a white fist, isn't it?
Well, that's the stone itself is just a stone.
Okay. But the actual symbol for your god is a white fist, a white
Yeah.
gauntlet, right? Okay. When she finishes this, there's like a shimmer of a mirage that just suddenly shimmers in front of Honoa and kind of almost slams down. It almost sounds like it has weight to it, like somebody's taking a shield and hitting the ground. And you almost can hear like ka-ching as it hits, and then there's an emblazoned symbol which flows or shimmers into the air right in front of it. It's just like for half a second, it's almost like a lightning flash of a white gauntlet, and it's just gone.
And I'll look back to everyone and say, Storm wouldn't let me. Torm wouldn't let me. Fuck me. This game. Torm would not grant protection over someone who's not an ally of mine.
Yeah, what she said.
Alright,
Okay.
she's safe. Now if that
So-
little bastard could crawl the hell away from her so we could shoot the crap out of it and make sure she's alright.
Before you guys get to Barman, or do you choose to do anything before, as
Yeah.
a reaction, or before you head back up to the top, and then that's where Folker or Abel can speak.
Okay. I'm just going to go, like, sitting there. I'm fucking terrified. Barman, you can tell his eyes are wide, and they're a little sunken because he's been underground for so long. And I'm just going to look at Honoa and be like, ooh.
Oh no.
And so I'm doing it since she's backed into a corner. I'm going to do it in such a way as to just get her and the wall and her and the thing like facing away. So let's see here. So I don't know. Probably Bug is going to have less hit points than Honoa, but 19 hit points go to sleep.
Bug's got a number.
Yeah, I forgot where his stat block was.
It's
Hang on, I can look it up in a different way.
Whisper.
So just as an out of game question, do those spells automatically affect like the weakest creature
Yeah.
and then work
Yep.
its way up?
Mhm.
Oh,
That one in
okay.
particular.
I learned something today.
In this situation, I wish it were the other way around, so we could put her to sleep and then smash the bug with hammers.
You're so mean.
Girl, you got a hard sell. I'm just saying.
I was put into a challenging position.
This is, we're definitely give you an opportunity to shine here.
We thought Finn, my other character, was sad.
Also, you still have bug juice on your face from when you regurgitated.
What?
Okay. As you guys, Honoa's backed up into this corner, and she's kind of made a motion, and this amorphous, shadowy creature has kind of gone behind her back, and she's then this large shield apparition thing that you guys saw that had happened with Anu, and Barman, you go up and what was your material component you use?
It's just some pocket sand, and then I just
Okay.
do like the tooth and throat singing or whatever.
Got it. So you make that motion, and Honoa gets kind of tired. Her eyes get a little like woozy just for just half a second, and then she wakes up and she doesn't actually completely go to sleep, but she realizes that she kind of resists that and looks around, and you don't see what has happened, but Honoa does not wake up, or Honoa wakes up, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. So whatever effect happened. Okay, Abel.
When she said it was her friend and everything, Abel's like, "Oh, my apologies. I thought that you had attacked it. I don't know that I like the look of that thing, but if it doesn't break the law, it'll be okay."
Technically.
And I kind of stand down. I'm still at ready, but I'm not looking to attack again.
Okay. Folker, does anybody else plan on doing any kind of attacks? You want to stay in combat?
Oh, we can move out of combat.
Okay. So
Well, I keep my knocked arrow ready and aiming right at Honoa.
okay. So essentially, everybody the play-by-play kind of goes, but Honoa, you're obviously aware that Barman had cast a spell upon you, one of which you've seen him use before, but shook off the effects. Now it's whatever you guys want to do.
You try to put me to sleep there, Barman.
You're fucking right, I did. You want to say something about it right now?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay. All right. Okay, point for you.
Don't do that again, please.
Point for you. Okay, don't regurgitate demon spawn. What is it? Tell us what it is.
You know, I read it a bit in my book. It's like my ally, almost.
Why did it just show up right now? Like, where did it come from?
Clearly from my mouth.
Okay, literal Lucy, we get it, all right. But
It was a gift, I guess.
who gives gifts like this?
I don't have a name.
Who are you?
I'm Honoa. Good to meet you, Barman.
You know who I am. Yes, I know you. Yes. But who? There is another side to your relationship, and we are only seeing one side of the tunnel. What's on the other side of this tunnel?
I guess it's to find out, huh?
No. That's bad news. We don't want to find out.
I do.
Judge, do you want to find out what's on the other side of the tunnel?
I mean, I'm getting these powers from something, right?
Yes.
Anu gets them from Torm. You get them from...
I get them because I'm pretty.
Yeah,
But
because you're
Anya
really pretty.
Anya gets them because she is devout, right? She.
Right, so I have
she's-
to have a reason too, right? Don't I?
Yes. What is
I've
your
never
reason?
used it against you,
Wait.
though.
Your powers are not from within.
I-
And
I mean, the voices in my head, I guess.
I mean, you could argue that her powers literally just spurned from her within.
Her powers are ejecta.
No.
All I'm saying is
What's
that
your
is that we are friends with each other now. We've traveled a while. We've done things.
Wait, you're really my friend?
It's a royal we at this point, but like we all know each other. Like I know what I'm getting with the judge. I know
Right.
I can rely on Folker. I know Anyu's devotion is true, but I feel like there is a component of your personality that might be a little hidden from the rest of us, and that
Okay, what?
worries me a little bit.
What about my personality?
There's a whole other aspect that we don't know.
I clearly don't know either.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, so let's go, gang.
So, with my limited experience with Honoa, more than you, Barman, she always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes.
Like with us.
And, well,
Yeah, I'm feeling in the
Yes,
wrong place
yes.
right now.
but
She is
she's-
the wrong place.
she is not evil. She's got a good heart, and that's worth protecting until there's a reason otherwise. She's right. She's not used any of her powers, regardless of where they've come from, against anyone in this group. She's always tried to help our goals the best she can. And although this is weird, as I don't even know what's going on, that's no reason to turn on a friend just yet.
Anyu, you're not wrong. And Barman like reaches over and kind of like takes which I don't know. If Barman reached over and tried to take your halberd, Judge, would you yield it to him?
Sure.
So Barman reaches over and takes the judge's halberd and is like, this, you're right, she's not evil. But this is not evil either. And I've seen this non-evil thing cleave many people in half. I'm just saying. There are tools and there are people using tools, and we need to figure out which is what, is all I'm saying. And I give the
Find
halberd
me a
back.
tool. A tool.
Well, for the sake of not knowing anything, it's best to keep her alive for answers, yes?
You're not
Great.
wrong. I mean, I like the kid. I do. I like all you kids, but like at the same time, doesn't mean I'm not uncomfortable. But I didn't want to come on this thing. I didn't want to go under the earth. So like whatever.
No, but Barman, I hear you. I've seen good, true men fall at the hands of, the people they trusted most. There's, whether it was good, evil, I don't know. It's all subjective. But we're here right now, and
Yes, we are.
at least we can rely on each other until we have a reason otherwise.
I mean, sure. Barfing demon baby seems like a reason to doubt, but that's
Barman,
fine.
I thought she was being attacked by the thing. Let's see what happens.
Oh, I just step like right behind the judge, and I'm like, very well, very well. I look at Honoa, and I'm like,
I've sat in the corner at this point.
Just a couple other things. Link that to me, Abel. But as you guys are kind of discussing this amongst yourself, Folker has been. You look around just for half a second and realize that he's like not around, and then you look back into like another opposite corner from Honoa, and you kind of see that that flying jellyfish type creature has come down, and its tentacles are slightly kind of touching and caressing right around where Folker is, and have illuminated him in like a bluish kind of glow as he was skulked back into a corner, hiding, still with his arrow knocked and his bow in his hand, but not drawn. But the flying
Oh, I linked the
jellyfish type,
wrong thing.
flying jellyfish creature
was
is kind of
gonna
like
ask why you-
shown you where he was inadvertently.
Sorry, the second one. I linked the wrong thing first.
sure.
Don't divine smite me, God.
Follow your lead, Judge.
Oh, she's fine. Pow!
Okay. Since it would take a while to type, I'll just go ahead and tell you. As you begin to use divine sense, the first thing that comes about is a sense of strong evil, but that's what you're looking for. But there is no sense of evil. You do not get anything evil coming from the direction of Honoa. But after about after 6 seconds or just a little bit longer, as you're kind of focusing, you do sense undead, and the undead that you do sense, you can before you could not see it, and you still can't see it, but what you sense is that there is a very small, similar to the creature that you saw on Hanoa's shoulders, a very small sense of undead, which is not lying on the ground, but at her feet, hidden in the shadows. It's real dark. Remember, she backed up into the corner against the bookcase, and you see a sense that there is a undead something right there on the ground, even though it's very difficult for you to see it.
Noah, move away. There's something in the debris you're standing in.
It's probably my ally. It's probably Bug.
No, it's not Bug. I see him just fine. There's something undead underneath you.
I look for Bug. Bug? Come on, we gotta move.
At about this time, both I guess, Folker, what's your sight like? Don't you have?
I've got 60-foot dark vision.
You got 60-foot dark vision. Okay, and it's surprising. It's surprising to you, Folker, but after a second, you look down Honoa and you realize that the Bug is. You can see even him in the shadows. It's kind of tough. You can see him just kind of sleeping or lying there. But it's been about a minute since he fell asleep, and Folker, you're surprised to actually have difficulty seeing the thing lying down, and then it kind of shakes and wakes up and kind of floats up at Hanoa's command, and then that small type creature is very difficult to see right above her shoulder as it flirts in and out of this dark, dim light of shadows, kind of where she's backed up into the corner. You can see it, but it is difficult to see. And as you concentrate, Abel, you realize that it is that small creature that she is calling Bug does radiate a sense of undead, but it does not radiate evil.
Yeah, but undeath is against the laws of nature. So.
Cure Wounds is a necromancy spell.
Yep, I don't use it.
No, sir, don't use it.
No, sir, don't like it. Mm-mm.
When I realize it is in fact her thing, I tell her that that's not natural, and
Well,
I don't know that if I were you, I would trust it. But it's your responsibility.
Hey, I'll take that. Yeah, Bug, you're gonna break no laws, right? We're judge here. Well, attack us again.
I didn't attack you.
Same space.
I was trying to attack
I'm glad
you.
you were looking out for me.
I was trying to.
And that was very kind.
It just sits there and floats. Once again, Folker, it is it's a little strange that usually in dark light you can see things so well, and that it's something that you do catch the edges of, but it's still very difficult for you to see. It's like as if one of those little floaty things that just off to the side of your vision. You see it sometimes, and sometimes you don't see it.
At this point, I realize I've still been in my skivvies. Can I go get my clothing, and you guys aren't gonna jump at me, right? Good?
You're fine with me. Just watch out for that thing.
Come with me, Bug.
And I guess I'll start putting on my armor.
I finally pull up my pants.
There is sustenance if you care to partake.
Pants come back off.
as Hento and I points towards a fairly large skillet. Now that you think about it, and if you get kind of close to it, you realize that it's a pretty aromatic and nice smell. It doesn't permeate the entire area, but when you get close, it does smell nice and smell flavorful.
And it's always like, sorry, no, I'll joke for later.
Okay. After I get the rest of my clothing back on and my cloak over it, Bug, why don't you just, tuck up underneath right up under there, and just have him like kind of hang out underneath my cloak.
Okay. Anybody wish to eat what Hentomai has cooked? Nope.
Sure, I'll eat it.
It didn't seem evil or anything when I was divine sensing. It,
No, not at all.
then I'll have some fungus.
I'll get some too, and I'll wait till Judge eats some.
As he kind of scoops it out of this skillet, it kind of has the consistency and looks consistency of like cornbread, and he cuts up in little triangle, almost pie-like pieces. When he hands a slice to you, it kind of stays in a slice like a quiche or a piece of cornbread. It is gray, and you realize that it's kind of like a pasta, but it's been grilled on. It's got kind of a darker gray on the top and bottom. And as he hands it to you, you realize that it smells quite good.
I just want to pause for the people at home. For those that aren't aware, everybody is being introduced to the magic of Matt's weird fucking foods that he throws into games that are magical and amazing. The best thing since black apples and meat salt. Please continue.
So who eats?
I'll
Okay.
eat some.
I'll have
All
some.
right.
I'll have some great pasta quiche too, please.
Okay. So as you take bites into this, it's strange that it's kind of pasty but also thick, but it does have like this really great smoky taste to it. Much like you'd have like a quiche. It kind of tastes like eggs and quiche, and you taste it. You're just completely surprised that it is not pleasant to look at, but the taste and the smell is it's gummy thick. But the one thing that it does, much like if you've had cornbread, it does make you extremely thirsty. And so then he walks over, Hentomai, after everybody grabs one of the things, he takes this bag, which has this large mat of also crystalline fungus on it. And which is, like I said, probably thick, like 2.5 inches thick. And he brings over that, and with a crackling, like almost the breaking of crystals, he rips off the top part of it and peels that back, almost like rolling it backwards, and then grabs a small handful and hands each of you kind of like this handful, which is like gray sacks. They look like a whole bunch of like almost bladders. They're tiny small bladders, and it kind of hands you this chunk and says, for your thirst. As you actually bite into the fungus, you realize that they are bladders with fresh water. And every time you bite into it, it's like spring water shoots from there and actually quenching your thirst. The bladder themselves almost dissolve as soon as they enter your mouth. Like your saliva kind of just dissolves it. So you're actually almost eating water beads, and you just continue to eat those, and it's just like quenching of thirst.
Were those fruit gushers?
Fruit gushers.
Yeah, they're it's like eating a gusher.
Orbeez.
But you have been introduced now to food and water prepared with the total lack of sunlight from their ecology. So anyway, there you are.
Thank you, Hento.
Oh, it's Hento. Sorry.
Hentomai.
Hentai.
I want to saddle over to Anu while we're having breakfast.
I'm sitting in the corner looking at this thing? This bladder?
It's got like water in it.
You've already tried it.
Yeah.
You're a
nice
bit
and
fearless today, aren't you?
You know, my life has flashed before my eyes far too many times this morning.
Hey, yes.
Thank you, Anu, for sticking up for me. Once
Don't-
more.
Well, you've had a rough go, at least as far as I've seen.
You've continued to have my back. I owe you a lot.
Maybe an explanation,
Maybe.
or not. Your business is your own, but what the hell, Honoa?
I know.
If it's not what you do that concerns me, we all have our talents, if you will. But what worries me is that you're not sure, or you say you're not sure where it comes from.
But I have a willingness to learn.
Well, that's respectable, but if you're learning from a bad teacher, you might learn the wrong thing. And that's not for me to judge, really.
I'll trust you though to keep me on the straight and narrow, right? If I stray, if things get seriously concerning and I start to hurt people, I never want to hurt people.
No, I
You'll
believe
call me
that.
out on it. I know you will.
I'll keep you on the straight and narrow, Honoa.
Yeah.
We'll just don't ever be afraid to talk through things if you need. Keeping secrets from people, especially in a dangerous situation, it doesn't do any good. People really do get hurt then.
I know. I promise you, when we have a moment for, just us girls, I'll talk to you. No offense, but I trust you the most.
People that follow justice is it's a weird twisting perspective sometimes. But we all seem to mean well. Right?
I know that, and I do too.
I'll give Honoa a pat and be like, it's been a wild ride so far, and what the hell is this thing? And just poke it again.
The pasta or the egg sacs, bladder sacs.
Is that what it is? Is it an egg sac?
No, I think it's like the fungus. I don't know. It's got water in it, and it's actually really nice. It's better than the water that's been living in my clay pots for like a couple days.
Bottoms up, then. I'm gonna bite the sack.
And we're now infected. Every one of us.
I have not.
You have been flumped.
I'm in the corner.
Floomp, there he is.
Yeah, you're flumped.
Dude,
Did I hear that correctly? It basically made him glow while he was trying to hide.
well, he was yes. Essentially, he was trying to hide, and he had backed up into a corner, was just watching it, and didn't realize the thing is coming down. And as its tentacles got around, it began to glow blue, and so then you could kind of like see where he was because it was essentially shedding a small glow around, and you could now see where he was hiding. Yeah, it outed him. But it's still there, just giving all this slightly pulsing blue glow, which is very, very faint, but it's still where he's at. I guess, Volker, you haven't moved or done anything differently, huh?
Nope. I'm just sitting back, being spot lit, I guess. While everyone else eats the fungus slabs.
Okay. Do you
and
choose not to eat today, or?
I'm eating my stuff.
Okay.
I have some nut loaf left, and I'm still hoarding that sealed jar of pickles. It
Okay.
is staying sealed.
The jellyfish type creature turns kind of like a greenish and begins to float away from you towards the center of the room up top, out of kind of range.
Yeah, wants to get some sweet fungus thoughts for everyone else.
Okay. Any other talk or questions or?
Is Hentamai still in the room?
Yes. After there's one last piece of this uh, the essentially fungus quiche, and he takes it out of the skillet and places it on the bag where the rest of that the gray water bladder fungus is at. Places it there, and it's kind of like cleaning the skillet and then bringing it and then putting it back. You see him take that skillet and kind of go around the corner to where he had posted up outside of this room, and then you can hear him kind of rummaging back over there, and then comes back into this room.
Sir, if I may, are we still able to speak with your master today?
Of course, if you recall, he asked for you to come back and speak with him. As a matter of fact, I believe he wanted you to witness one of his allies.
Do we know if his ally is here, or do we have a little time to should we wait here, or just looking for a timetable?
I believe that is up to you.
Great. Thank you. Back into the room.
Okay.
I ask everyone, if you've gone outside, I ask everyone to gather around and let's decide where we're going with this. I mean, we're still trying to save those slaves.
Absolutely.
And there was some probably confusion, and it was also no good map from my point. But where you guys are, if you remember, you came down almost like this spiral kind of stuff where you'd entered into this extremely large natural cavern, and there had been some water in the natural cavern which kind of pushed you off to like your right side, and you had started transversing on the right side, keeping a cave wall to your right, and then that's where off to your left these pillars started appearing, and that's where the water was kind of, and then that was where the Malameth Myrmiculux, where he had come upon these giant pillars and put out his tentacles, and way behind him when he illuminated the cave that went on for hundreds of yards behind it, where you began to see his city. But this cave continued on to the right. If you followed that right wall, you could continue going there, and that's where actually Hentomai had led you just a little ways, and that was where this small alcove had been. If you remember that Malameth had said to go over here so that you're out of the influence of his area, in case any of his brethren had come back and didn't realize that you were allies, they would immediately dominate you. But there was still water up to almost to the mouth of this small cave, this small alcove from the large cave. But this large cave still continued to your right past this alcove. That right wall that you've been following to here still continues way to your right past your light source. So there is still more to this cave, this cavern, that is not in Malameth's supposedly kingdom, and you're not sure how much further it goes to your right. As far as that, the only other thing that you guys remember is the way back up. I just didn't know if you remember that this continues to your right. If you leave this small little alcove, to your left goes back towards where Malameth is. To your right, it continues onward in an unknown direction.
Question from Bottom
Yes.
and Horn. So, correct me if I'm wrong. It has been a long time. We've been underground for years. But the only other route for us to take was the route where there were the people praying, right? Or chanting,
No.
or doing a ceremony.
No.
There were two ways out of that room. If I remember, there was one way into the room where they were doing a ritual, and there was a way into the mine or something.
if I remember right, there were. Well, I can look at it real quick, but I think there are 4 exits from that room. 3 of them were to your left, in which you saw one had the slime down it, in which the bluish creature was being dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
There was a way to your right that is showing that has a cart path to your right that went away, supposedly what he's calling deeper into the mine. And then there was an entrance ahead of you where you could hear the chanting coming.
So do you think that if we follow that cart path, that would take us back to the mine, or?
You have dwarven sense, don't you?
Yeah, I was about to say, can I roll like a history to see if I would remember something about mines?
No, you don't need to roll a history.
Yeah,
The
I don't
one
need
thing
to
that
roll.
the one thing that what I am gonna, you can roll a history, but one thing that I was gonna tell you is that the way that in which you're oriented underground now, this large cave going to your right is going into the same direction as that cart path would be going into. So you're much deeper, but that would be headed into the same direction as that chamber, following the cart path as to what you would think. What you're saying is deeper into the mine. And that direction is towards the entrance where you assume where the slaves were. So both of these directions head towards your goal. This large chamber just is hundreds of feet below it, and the other one is unknown, but has the cart tracks.
I say screw the birds. Follow the river. Let's go to the right.
If memory serves, the main reason we didn't try the cart one is because the ritual chanting stopped and they were starting to come out of that room. We didn't think we could face them all. No?
No, that's not correct. As far as what I remember is that there was
Something was coming out of there.
You guys had heard some things. You heard like some footprints and things, footsteps, and you heard some noises, but you didn't hear the ritual stop.
Oh, okay.
The chanting, it wasn't necessarily stopped. You guys had heard something that appeared or it sounded like it was coming towards you guys.
Didn't we?
I thought we had to hide. I've noticed this is a big mob of Jamas heading our way.
That also was the case. Remember when you guys had gone down the spiral and gone into one of the tug rooms where you'd heard some footsteps following you.
For fuck's sake.
But it's not. Don't laugh. Like when you live underground by yourself, this is a necessity. You need a room for tugging. You're so childish,
Yeah,
people.
We overheard, through the spindle we will collect the marrow of the world. I gave him the gift, and we need to find him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I knew you guys had heard some stuff, but nothing had stopped.
Okay. Notes for the win. But that's also all I wrote for that day. So. What you're saying, Barman, we can go either way and get where we think we're going?
I say we just follow this. It seems like it's the same direction. It seems like it's the same area that we're trying to head towards. That I feel like it's a lot of risk to go up. That maybe this would work out. If it doesn't, we can always double back. But I feel like this way is.
Did we ask Mal?
Not yet. We could try
Okay.
asking.
We could also.
I couldn't
also
remember if we'd ask him about this situation or not.
yeah, and I don't remember if Hentai said anything either.
Well, I say that's what we do then, unless anyone has an objection.
More information.
Okay. So the plan is to.
We'll go have our morning chat with Malboleth.
But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Before we chat, can Barman make a tinkle? I can be real quick.
Yeah, I need to relieve myself as well.
Do we need a break? Break, game break. We're gonna take a break.
Oh, we're not doing this in character?
No, I think Brian will do it out of character and in character.
I think he's gonna pee and he's gonna be like, "Yes, I feel so good. I'm about finished." I don't know.
Okay. Well, I survived the morning, everybody, and I'm really excited for that. So we're gonna go take a break, and we'll be right back.
I had to make a quick tinkle. I'll be done.
A real quick tinkle.
What are we loving for? So the best part is that Mac and I spent most of that time working out a series of signals to one another.
Oh no.
And the best part about our signals is that halfway through it, I'm like, I love that we're making signals via text where we could just text if we were trying to communicate. We're like, no, man, signals are more fun. The only
She's
problem,
crazy. She's crazy.
the only problem is that we did like 4 of them, and I'm not. Oh, never mind, Matt's back.
Uh, I'm not dead yet.
Oh, the perils of playing a warlock.
Especially a stupid one.
Stupid one.
She's not the bravest, not the smartest. But gosh darn it, on you likes her.
It's like when I used to bartend and be like, I'm not a fast bartender, but I'm not a slow bartender. I'm more of a half-fast bartender. Also, for the record, that Trader Joe's whiskey, it ain't bad.
That ain't bad.
Now I got some. I bought 2 different 6-packs of beer from there, because they were really cheap.
Everything there is so fucking cheap.
Yeah,
All their
and one of
booze.
them, and both of them were like 5.5 or 5.6% alcohol. One of them was god fucking awful. Like, it was a lager. It was really bad. And then one of the other ones was really pretty good. But I think it was like a 6-pack for like $2.99 or something.
Their wine is insane. Like, it's like they have
$2 chuck.
See, the $2 chuck is the bottom of the barrel, but like even
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Italian, Pinot Grigio, and it's like $6.50, and I'm like it's decent wine for nothing. And then like this fifth of whiskey was $14. It's stickers. This is a sticker. The label is a sticker. It ain't bad. Maybe I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you till yeah.
Put him to bed.
Take a little nap there, buddy. And then this at Costco was $20 for a case of it.
Was that is that the Ultra?
I'm doing a tour of shitty beers.
Yeah,
Hey.
this D&D show brought to you by cheap alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've got a love-hate relationship with Michelob Ultra.
It's super, like, as far as light, if you told me that I had to drink a light beer, I think I would drink this one.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I would drink Miller Lite, but like this would probably be second. This would be the second light beer that I would drink.
I think it's a travesty. I think the original Michelob was excellent, and I curse that the Ultra took its place.
Michelob's not bad. That's like the
No,
one
it's
draft
not bad
beer.
at all.
It's like the one draft beer they have at the Rendezvous in Memphis. It's like you want ribs and Michelob.
I'm also a big fan of Schlitz.
Stag is the best beer in the
Dude.
world.
Okay.
Oh, let's go talk to a
Are we,
fish.
Yeah, are we ready to go talk to some fish?
We found a new low. Yeah.
Now break over. Let's get back at it. That's my hosting ability.
Hantomai stands there, and when you guys express that you wish to go speak with Malameth Myrmiculix,
Malboleth.
yes, the Malboleth, he says,
It's Mooey.
Okay.
Malboleth.
very well. And so then he begins walking, and as if for you guys to follow, back towards where you came, towards where Malrumeth is.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We refilled the lantern before resting last time, I believe. And we left it to prepared to light it. Do we need to light it, or is there enough ambient light for us to not trip over each other?
There is no ambient light currently. You do
Oh,
need
shoot.
the lantern.
I can hold
Um,
if you'd like.
We did top off from the oil in that
Mhm.
room.
Yeah, we should be all filled up with that. So,
Questionable oil.
all right,
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, you're full on oil, and all your flasks are full up, and the lantern is full, and now it is lit and giving off it's 20 foot of light and 20 foot of dim light beyond. Isn't that right?
A torch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Um,
Unless you want to increase it, since we're all, blind.
you're not all blind.
Just the
Are we,
important
though?
part.
So,
All we hear is Fulker's voice go, "I am the dark.
Where is he?
I'm everywhere."
Have we collected him when we left the room?
I don't know. I assume he's following.
As long as I have the lamp, I can kind of see him. But as soon as the lights go out, I cannot see him.
It wasn't a very long walk. It was probably, I think if it was like 5 to 8 minutes of just kind of walking. Towards the last little bit of that, you guys can kind of see that up ahead there is a very, very dull violet glow coming from where the two pillars are, and from where Malrameth is usually located. He is there, even though it's you can kind of see his tail. It seems that he's turned around and facing the other direction. And beyond him, there are two bright, there actually are three bright spheres, probably 15 feet in height and probably 8 feet in diameter. And there's three hovering spheres that he appears to be looking at. He's got two of his giant tentacles like reaching up to the sky, and they're actually kind of brushing the top of the cave. The light is illuminated enough that it's brushing the top of the cave, and those 60-foot tentacles are touching the top of the cave as they're kind of up in the air. Within each of those, you guys get close to those pillars, and you actually manage to go a little bit closer than you ever had before, and you get about knee depth into the water, trying to get a little closer to get a good view of what these giant lavender, purple, violet spheres are. One of them, the one that's in the center, kind of winks out before you get a chance to see what it is. But in the one to the left and to the right, the one to the right, you notice that it appears to be a yellowish corpse with long hair, his eyes closed. He's got this long, dark hair, strings to the side. This corpse is sitting there with its eyes closed and its mouth closed, in a cross-legged position with both his arms down by his side and his hands kind of like doing this down by his side. The corpse seems to be seated cross-legged with flowing robes, all kinds of symbols, as like there's stole going down its neck, and it's got symbols all up and down it. Flying around in the air around this seated corpse are little bright motes of energy. And as they float, they make these geometric shapes all around them, which are kind of like as if you had a sparkler and you made a geometric shape, and it kind of geometric shape comes into existence and then winks away. And that is happening like with at least almost 100 different motes of light all around him. It's these geometric shapes and patterns are just kind of happening. But he just sits cross-legged. His robes are flowing down below him. He appears to be floating with his arms down. Like I said, it looks just like a corpse with long hair, and it doesn't appear to be doing or moving or anything. That's to the one to the right. The one to the left is 8 humanoidish creatures. Now it shifts between a basic element and a human, and there's 8 of them, and they are in at least 2 representing each of the 4 major elements. So there's 2 fire, 2 airish, 2 water, and 2 rock earth beings. And these appear to be definitely humanoid, but in an elemental shape or form. And they seem to be standing there, and you do get the sense that they're all humanoid and maybe even human. But they seem to be standing kind of at attention, looking, and you guys stand for a good 30 seconds to 40 seconds, even to a minute. And it seems like that there's a conversation going on, but there is no sound. Nothing is being said.
I have a question for you.
I also
Okay.
have a question.
Go ahead.
Where's the little jellyfish friend? Is he with us?
yeah.
Is he with Folker or?
No, the little jellyfish friend did not leave the room,
Okay.
so it did not come out of the alcove.
Did the yellow corpse look like the other yellow corpses I saw that in the whatever plane that was that my character has no idea of? But I didn't like them. I wasn't a fan.
Yes, they're very similar to that, except this one appears to be larger, older, and dead. Although those other ones were also dead and desiccated or dead, this one appears to be like desiccated. Like it looks like it's an old corpse, but it does look very similar to what you guys all had experienced. That was around that well. They were sitting in that pattern. It does appear to be the same. The skin tone and the way that it looks does appear to be that. Yes.
Awesome.
I would say Abel and Barman, if you like to make a history check, you may.
And bottom in the rolls at 10.
15.
I'll tell you out loud, but the Barman, both of you two know this, that you do recognize one thing right off the bat is that all those ones on the left, all those they are 100%, those are humans. They're not humanoid, they're not human shaped, they are, all 8 of them are human. And the both of you do recognize that they are all druids. Abel, one of the rock ones looks vaguely familiar. Matter of fact, you don't know, you've never met him, but you've heard of, and Barman, you've heard of some famous druids, but there's one of the rock ones, Abel, you have heard from some of your past.
I'm sorry, why specifically would I know anything about druids?
You would know of that one specific druid because you've heard of that one druid before. One of the rock ones.
Like as a childhood story or
as a story of something that you have experienced. You notice when you look closer that he's got a lot of rock aspects to him and several crystals of various types, and it appears that he has veins of minerals running like as if his arteries and his veins are mineralized and gold and shimmering silver that appear to be running down his arms and in his legs. And you recognize the form in which you've heard of Sao Kester.
okay.
One of the druids that defeated the Tarsk.
Okay.
That whether you tell anybody that or not, I'm just letting you know that without having a whisper, that's who that is.
I'm still a little confused on this. The ones that are these humans, they're awake. They're not floating like the other one.
Yeah, no, they appear to be they're all within this. It's in a sphere. It looks like a scrying violet sphere, but they appear to just be standing, all kind of next to each other.
Like it's like an image inside the sphere.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
It's an image.
Okay.
Okay. And as you guys kind of see this, it goes on for just about 2 minutes, and then you realize that the giant arms, the two giant tentacles which up are just kind of slowly coming down, and as they come down, the one on the left, this spherical image kind of just shimmers and disappears, and then the one to the right begins to fade. And everybody make a perception check.
Hey, Barman, make 19 plus 0.
I rolled a 16.
Is
I
pretty
rolled a
good.
19 as well.
Pretty good at seeing things.
Oh, I got an 8.
Oh, I rolled
Oi.
a 16.
Oi, oi, oi,
Wow.
oi, oi. We are
Yeah,
perceptive as
so that's
fuck.
every single person rolled above 15.
Hey!
Right before the image kind of winks out, and it doesn't wink out as if like you turn off a TV set. It's kind of fading away, but as it fades away and it's about to go, everybody notices that the corpse eyes open, and it's got bright white eyes without any kind of irises, and then all of a sudden those eyes just go into complete flames, and you realize everybody's perception's high enough that it's looking directly at Honoa, and then these eyes just burn and flame, and then all of a sudden the thing winks away.
All right, you can take her. It's fine.
I mean, that's an incredible perception roll for everybody.
Yeah, with my neg 1. I'm just, I would have stared right back at it.
And then the ground it doesn't shift, but you can definitely tell something very large moves around as Malumeth attempts to move his massive body inside of like this pillar cage, as the tail kind of flips up, and all the thing, the gigantic fish creature itself has to almost turn on its side and flip a tail around, which goes kaboosh and sends a wave of water just up above your knees to about mid-thigh as it turns around, and then its 3 oblong eyes just come into view into your into your dim light, as it presses its gigantic face with its whiskers and toothy maw pretty close to you guys, and it's like 15 feet away, but realizing that like you're looking up at like some of the eyes, that those things are still 20 feet above you. Like its top eye is 20 feet above, looking up. You guys are barely looking at the bottom eye and its mouth, but that's when it then addresses you, and if you don't remember that its voice is almost like 5 voices stacked upon each other, each with like a half-second delay as it speaks. I trust you guys slept well.
Apple's from like Buffalo. You guys sleep well.
I know that guy. Very, very well. Thank you for your hospitality.
Okay. Buffalo.
Buffalo. No. We did not sleep well at all. It was very restless and disconcerting, but by no cause of yours. Your hospitality was lovely. Your power is immense, and your glory is enough to let us all feel comfortable when it happens. Yes.
One of its tentacles, that's one of the smaller ones.
It's gonna
here,
touch me.
kind of comes out, and you realize it's like it's like almost as if the shoulder comes forward and it squirts out this way, and as it comes back, it comes out and just shows forward and reveals, and then
Did you just do the?
Um, it's the scroll in which you gave it, that large 2 foot scroll that was encased in all these clay type runes, and it kind of curls it back out, and says, "Thank you for this. I have absorbed its contents, and it's an incredibly valuable item. Uh, one whose contents perhaps could shape the world. I do not wish for it to languish down here. I give this back to you, so that you may labor to understand that which has been altered and forgotten." So one of its smaller tentacles, which is still 20 feet long, is holding that 2 foot long scroll, which he asked you for, and he's returning it.
You're very, very kind, and your graciousness knows no bounds, and I am completely humbled by your kindness. But what does it mean? When we tried to open it, it just kind of fell apart. Like we could not even understand it. Would you be, with your benevolent kindness, willing to bestow upon us a shred of its meaning?
There is contained within um, stories. They're patchwork stories placed of different years, decades, hundreds of years, um, wrapped around central truths and then sealed. The seals themselves tell a story of what has been altered and forgotten. You need to protect this with your life, for it is worth more than you can fathom.
To whom?
You do need to study it, and I don't think that it's something that I can give to you all at once, because if I were, I think you might go insane.
I've seen some pretty crazy shit in the last 12 hours. I understand what you mean. Don't want to push it too much. Well, I thank you for your kindness and your generosity to share this wisdom with us.
I said I will tell you that it tells of my greatest enemies, those that defeated me. It does speak of the Lightning Lords.
I can't write fast enough. Has Barman, have you taken the scroll?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it still wet?
Not as much so. It is the outer part is not as damp as it was. It's still heavy, and you still feel like that the inner parts are somewhat damp, but the outer part has dried somewhat. Even being in this moist area, and I mean the creature himself is coated in almost like a slime, and the water that's kind of pervades around this creature has like a small floating flotilla of slime around it. This is a slimy, wet creature, and yet the outer layer of this scroll itself does appear to be dryish. It does appear that it still has some mud that's wet underneath, but that's it.
Okay, very good.
Are there folks in particular that we need to protect the scroll from?
I would say anyone until you've learned what it has to say.
But if you could say one was the worst folk to know of its contents. No, okay.
I would say that not knowing the mind of any person or any being, I would keep it from everyone until you learn what it has to say.
Some hot goss we got here, huh?
You like a dish of the goss?
Um,
Well, it's an honor to be entrusted with such a duty.
Thank you for letting me read it.
You're welcome.
now, if I may ask, what was that place that we were sent to? Does it have a name? I'm grasping for straws, to be honest.
Well, it is known as Pandemonium.
Sure was.
It's an area of limbo.
Are you always connected to that, the well, or is that temporary?
That's temporary, although my brethren are amongst what you would know as the universe, amongst the planes, searching, and they are now returning.
Yes. I have one more question about Pandemonium. The yellowed corpses that we saw, what was that?
They are currently allies of what you saw. I remember as yesterday I wished for you to at least have seen my allies, to know that we are all in this. We are all searching for something. We are all searching for the same thing and trying to bring about to stop what we believe is beginning to happen.
The beacon.
We believe that because of the beacon, we believe that we've discovered some of which you need to learn from the scroll.
Speaking of, yesterday you said you wished for us to witness the return of some of yours. Have they returned?
Oh, no, you don't need to. You don't need to witness their return. I was trying to protect you from their return. I wanted you to witness the allies in which I'm speaking with.
Apologies. Feels like it's a very long night.
Now, is there anything else that you need of me? Or is there anything else that I can help with? I do need to converse with other allies and welcome my brethren back.
Do you know how we can get up to the to that mine?
I do not know how much has changed in this place since I have been here. I do know that people have crossed and been down here before. I sensed 3 that came by about a week ago, but I was preoccupied and did not notice their passage. But they traveled by here around a week ago, and I sensed their presence as they went through.
They were fucking goshawks, weren't they?
I sensed 3. I sensed a presence of 3, and that is all that I've sensed. I do not know who they were.
All right. We thank you for your time. We thank you for your mercy and your patience. And we hope we have the opportunity to repay you for these good deeds in our future.
If you come across more knowledge such as this, come back, return, bring it to me. If you have any questions or you have any conundrums, please return.
Okay. Don't see why not. That seems like a fair trade.
And if you see Iago, the leader of the Crimson Brothers, I will give you the choice of items from my treasure hoard. And when he kind of says that, he gets a little bit angry, and like his the city behind him kind of illuminates, and you can kind of just see that it sparkles every now and then. It says, "You will have your choice of anything from my city if you bring me back his head."
Okay.
Could I dare to ask why?
He has something that belongs to me.
Is it?
I
I
his-
consider that
his head?
lost, but I will take back his head for a replacement.
Okay.
As you say.
And with that, he kind of slinks back a little bit. And Antomai says, "If there's nothing else, I must attend to his needs." And McKinnon's kind of like walking backwards into the water, and it gets waist deep, and then he kind of turns around. And you're kind of left with the water that's, had gone up to your knees. It's just kind of, it's waves, and then as this creature retreats a little bit back into his very small cave, the water just kind of begins to settle, and the cave gets quiet again.
Did that guy just get on a little tugboat?
Hinto.
Environment, I think he is a tugboat.
So how can we get the fuck out of here? Is the question.
You talked about going to the mines, right?
Yes,
Let's
do that.
That's in the other direction. It sounds very good to me personally.
Me as well, personally.
Was the sound of Malbolith shifting around similar to the sound we heard when we spent the night?
No.
Okay.
Good
No,
question.
the
Good fucking question.
When Malrameth moves, it is a deep, resonating, huge, like almost foot shaking event. That was the other thing before was definitely a
Seismic.
a person trying to be quiet.
No, we heard like a rolling, thundering sound as well.
While we were camping in the room when the things passed by, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that
I
was.
heard the people sneaking by. But,
Oh, okay, all right.
But there
Yes.
was like this rolling, thundering sound.
That was probably Malrameth. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
So maybe something snuck down there and met with him before we did. Possibly. I don't know.
I'm totally good with taking this knowledge that we have and moving down the lake a bit, trying to find our way out of the mine.
Okay.
Anybody else? Everybody fine with that?
Follow
I
the
would
lake.
like to get out of this water, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So heading back to the way in which you came from the alcove, you're heading deeper into this large cavern.
Not the way we came. We're gonna go to the right, like for the right from the chamber that we were in. Though we said that was the same direction as the cart path. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You have to pass by the place in which you just camped.
Yes, I think that's what we
You,
want to do.
you pass
yeah.
by that and keep the cave wall on your right, and you're going deeper into a very large cave.
And how far from the water is the shore here? It's pretty close, right? Like it's the cave and like 3 feet or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The what do you call it? You as you get close to the right wall and try to get out of the water, it gets to about ankle.
Okay.
But then you travel where it stays about ankle deep as you keep the cave wall to your right, and then you pass by your alcove in which you went and you camped for the night. It is still ankle deep at that point, but about if you continue with that right wall and you pass by that small alcove, you continue for about 100 to 200 more feet, and about half that distance, after about 100 feet, the water just pretty much kind of goes, and you get to where it's you get out of there. I mean, the water, the cave floor still appears to be kind of wet, but you're definitely not slocking in any kind of water. And you're keeping a cave wall to your right because the roof of this cave is still 60 feet out of sight. It's just an enormous cavern. It's still all kind of natural cave.
Okay, Barman. As we progress down, I'll let somebody else go first, but Barman will take the very back.
Okay, so what if you're gonna have a marching order? What do you wanna do the marching order as?
I'll head off first.
Okay, are you going a certain number of feet before?
Yeah, I'm gonna be, I'll say 20 feet ahead of the next person, so they should be able to catch me with dim light, but I'm not in the bright light from the torch.
Okay, so whoever's second, who's carrying the lantern?
I'll go second. I'll carry the lantern.
Okay. And the cave, this cave is big enough. You don't have to do single file. You guys can go in any kind of order. I just wanted to know, like, what's it look like?
Like a baby's arm holding an apple.
I'd probably feel more comfortable if Noah was closer, but that's up to her.
Yeah, Honoa will stay next to Anu.
Okay, and then
I'll be
behind.
behind that with Barman, I guess.
Okay. All right, so almost like Folker's in front, and you got Honoa and Anu side by side, and then you two walking behind them.
Mhm.
Okay. Just doing kind of basic stuff. I assume you're trying to keep the cave wall to your right, so that it's kind of within the 20 feet, so that you always have that point of reference instead of walking out into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. About 10 minutes of kind of walking and keeping it to your right. The cave itself still continues and is still extremely large, although you don't see any more water. There are quite a few of broken columns, and at some points during that walk, the ground becomes covered in broken columns and broken stalagmites and stuff, so that it's not a smooth, as if the previously it's all been kind of worn smooth by either water or deposited silt, so that it's been kind of like a nice floor. But after a little while, it's starting to break, and you're getting into where there's broken rocks, and you're kind of having to avoid some terrain. When you look off to your right, and it's the first time you've seen anything different, you do see kind of like a small like almost tunnel going off to the right. It appears that it's this tunnel is about 12 feet and almost looks like it's arched. Now it's natural, but it almost looks like it's arched, like it's kind of a natural here, and then it's about 5 feet, 5 feet wide. And it appears that there has been some sort of flow at some point from this thing down. So it's like it's kind of sloped into your guys' area. So there's a nice ramp which kind of goes up to it. Now it's a smooth rock type ramp, but this is the first feature that you've seen that turns to your right and continues off to your right.
Does it appear to be heading up or down?
It goes slightly up, but not much. Like the ramp itself just goes up about 5 feet. It's only about 5 feet. Once looking into, if you want to go, you look into this, it turns and continues like in a straight direction, but does not go up. It kind of looks like it may have a slight incline, but not much to it.
Well, I'll wait for the rest of the group to catch up and point it out.
Okay.
I do.
As the light gets there, you guys do notice that there is a you see the ramp in which I've described. Does anybody have nature?
I do.
I do too.
Okay.
I do not.
If you've got a what do you call it?
Proficiency.
Proficiency in that.
I forgot that I had it.
I got a 2.
Barman rolls a 16 on nature, as he has learned
Proficiency of a
in the
0.
woods.
Volker, this is just not your area of expertise
No.
in this at all. But Barman, it does roll right into yours. This at some point appears to be this was some sort of old lava flow. So, but it's been worn. It's not the very porous lava rock, which is sharp and has sharp edges and very difficult to walk on. This is at one time was a lava flow, had flowed from this cavern and down, and has made a very nice smooth gradient. As a matter of fact, that's exactly how this cavern, this little thing, was carved. It was carved because the lava flew out from this, and at one point had gone into this big, large cave at some point, but long time gone. But you do notice that there is it's a distinct difference within the rock and the way this passageway was. This was not water carved. This was a lava carved cavern.
Ingenious. I mean igneous. Sorry. Ingenious.
Anyway, you can point that out to them if you wish, but
I will try to explain the geologic...
You tried to, but you cursed.
I cursed. I do a pretty nice job. It's a very silicate subject. Sorry, never mind. Okay.
Oh man.
Sorry, that's more of a sedimentary rock.
Rock humor, wonderful.
Yeah, no, it looks like there was lava up here. Something. I kind of go. Wait a second. Do you guys see this? This looks like lava, right? And it seems like when we were traveling down here, there was a volcano. I'm just going to put those two facts on the table and let you guys parse that out. What do you think?
Does that help us get out of here any?
I don't know where it's flowing from.
I could offer some eyes to go that way. Maybe it's my opportunity to let y'all to prove to y'all.
Yes, it's a great idea. Great idea. Proof.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll some eyes down that hall and...
You promise not to overreact this time?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I give you my word.
Yes. I give you the judge's word.
Okay. Lift up my cloak. Bug.
A ghost fart comes out.
Yeah, a little ghost fart comes out. They're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
They promise they're not going to.
Just now.
Will you please go up that lava tunnel and give a look-see-loo?
Okay.
It's a white mustache.
As the you guys can go ahead and grab your tokens if you like.
Oh, bubba boy.
This is 20 feet has been where, oh shit.
I don't know if I can put. I'm gonna try and squeeze bottom into somebody. Like, boop. There we go. Yes.
Yeah. So this essentially that's the entrance right there. That's giving 20 feet of light as the lantern is at the entrance to this small area. If it goes a little bit further. Oh, wish I would have had the dynamic lighting working right.
I don't like being this close to Noah.
I don't know how to do
Hi,
this.
Barman. You said we were friends.
Yeah. I've said that to somebody I killed once. That's not true. That's a lie. That just tried to sound tough.
Oh, okay. You sound so tough and scary.
Byron, I have a question for you, sir.
For me?
Yes, for you. Your observation of the flooring here. Obviously, lava was past tense. Can you? You're smart. Do you know how long ago this would have happened, or has it been there for ages, or is this a fresh coating, if you will?
Oh no, I'm no student of the way of the rocks. That's a lot of my people do that back home, but I can't tell you, like, as hardened as this floor is, it's been quite a while since this is hardened.
I don't know if that's a relief or if it's something more to make me nervous.
I'm not lying, am I, Matt?
No.
Okay.
And this continues on this way for 20 feet up ahead. The sides of this cavern also appear to like have directionality, as if at some point it was carved. They've got small layers, so this appears to have been carved as if lava flowed out from against, so from some source that's deeper within.
So which way is the lava tunnel going?
It's where you guys are entering was where it exited from. So yeah, that's the way it appears the flow has gone.
Okay. So I would have stood at the entrance and sent Bug about, I don't know, we'll say 60 feet.
Well, before he gets 60 feet.
Go until he sees something.
Okay. From where you've moved to where you are now, so about 30 feet ahead, there is a juncture. The pathway widens out to continue straight, but also to your right, there appears to be a different pathway going to your right, which is also equally wide and kind of opening up. And coming from the right, he does see that there is a dull glow coming from the right.
From the right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's far enough away from the lamp that he's probably feels invisible.
Yes.
Uh,
And how do you get this because you see through his eyes?
yeah, I was gonna say that I would have, as he went away, you would have seen Honoa go a little. She would have closed her eyes, firmly placed her hand on the wall she was leaning against, and gone to see through his eyes.
Okay.
And directing him. So he's going to stealthily approach the glow.
Okay. As Bug moves in that direction, the air itself seems to get a little thick and steamy, and you approach the glow and you can definitely feel heat coming from that direction. And the glow is a dull orangish, reddish glow. And you do kind of feel the air becomes not difficult to breathe, but as if you were in very hot.
Okay.
Air is fucking thick.
Fucking thick. Does he see the source of the glow?
Not yet. It's definitely up ahead. There's nothing obstructing, but he just has to get closer.
Get a little closer.
Okay. As the air gets where he was initially, when he started feeling the thickness, there was kind of like you could tell that there's moisture in the air, and it just felt like there was a thickness to the air. But as he moves a little bit further, the air is dry and hot, and just densely hot, and you can see that at the very edge there is a pool which is just radiating boom, 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 and just radiating heat coming from it. That is the source of the orange glow, and there's just this immense amount of heat shimmering to the air.
Does it look like this pathway ends at the pool, or is there like more around it?
It does look like it ends at this direction.
All right. Mystery solved. The heat is lava. And
the floor is lava.
The floor is lava. Bug will back out and scout the other direction.
We can use this to smelt stones, and there's probably diamonds around here. Just saying.
Yeah, diamonds appear next to lava, right? That's what they keep telling us.
I cannot get this polygon reveal to look right. Like, look there. That's how well I did.
Look at this map. Are you kidding me right now? Ugh.
I mean, I can't get this thing to reveal correctly. Okay, there. That's as much as I got.
I too struggle with the polygon reveal.
With the polygon, you gotta complete it. Just make it like circles.
Yes. So that's about as good as I can get. I can't get it to stop being triangles.
Stop being triangles.
Stop.
The triangles are 3 points. Might try 4.
Maybe you should just try and assassinate him alone.
This is what happens. When I do, that's what happens when I do 4. I can't.
God, I'm being
for some reason, it
obtuse. I
won't
can't.
go where I want it to go.
Oh, we'll get it.
Okay, so that's kind of where it went. I can't get this one little thing.
Sorry, I love
I
you
hate
so.
this shit.
I know you do, Matt. I
It's
love you so much.
okay.
All I want to say is that this map's like a drunk scratch off right now.
And that's why I want to quit.
Oh,
No.
Absolutely not.
It's not the map. It's just the reveal. It's like like there's like a penny. I love it. I'm terrified right now. I'm just laughing because
it's fun. It's got character.
my little dwarf part's just like coming down and just like tinkling a little bit on itself.
Oh.
Please stop.
Do you still
That's-
have your pants down? Did you ever pull them back up, or are you just like swaddling
Just
through?
Hey,
the
don't
waddling.
you're not a dwarf. You don't know our ways. Don't fucking. That's racist.
So you just like completely soaked your pants talking to Mal,
And then I took them off.
and then you took them off. You're letting them dry. Well, I have a heat source for you. Okay.
So we don't go to the lava. Is that pardon me? We don't go to lava.
Yeah. As this is happening, Honoa is narrating. There's a lot of heat, and the air is kind of thick, and there's some glow. Oh, there's a bubbly, bright pool on the ground. I don't know if I've seen lava before or
Sounds
read
hot.
about it. Anyway, we're gonna go look the other way now. I'm gonna go to the left.
Okay. How far do you want to go that way?
Slowly until something sparks an interest or has been going on for like a minute.
Oh, there you go.
Hey.
This chamber it kind of opens up, and it just kind of opens up and then kind of goes back down into a smaller passageway in which it appears that it's not for bug but for human size. It would be barely able to get through shoulder, about 5 feet wide. That's about as far as you'd be able to get.
Hmm.
Go ahead and make a perception check with bug.
With Bug, not
Mhm.
Noah. Oh, a Bug would be better.
Bug's got like.
I
real
think
stats.
you would use bug stats when you're scouting with him, wouldn't you?
I mean, I'll take that +5 over my neck one. So yes, please.
Okay.
Did you say +5? Is that perception?
Yeah.
Is bug proficient?
Just roll a straight d20 and add 5 fucking to it.
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
So yeah, that's as far.
Oh no, wait, I was looking at something else. You never gave for that part, so it's just a 7. Just the
Okay.
7.
So 7. When he gets to this area, he doesn't notice anything else. And how far away can he be from you?
As long as he's on the same plane of existence, I can communicate and see through
Okay.
his eye. Voice of the Chain Master. I don't know. It looks kind of dead endy up here.
I'm just dragging this out here. I'm gonna see what happens when I do. I don't think I can drag a monster out. Never mind. I was gonna say I was gonna drag an imp out so you'd have something to move around.
I could just put another Honoa out there. Boop. So would have gone what, like here's,
Yeah, that's probably about where it was.
and then what was this looking like? Oh, just a little nubbin.
Nubbins.
Yeah.
We'll go in.
Okay. As you go in, you do sense that there is something making noise within this room.
Ah.
You've moved a little bit further, and you do sense that there's something within here making some noise. It is directly ahead of you. What's your how far can you see?
60 feet in dark vision.
Is it 60 feet from Bug?
Yeah, I'm looking through Bug.
Okay.
Directly ahead. Now it's difficult because the only thing you can see are kind of the backs, but directly ahead of you, uh, kind of past these pillars, you can see the backs of three creatures, which are medium sized and fairly thin, but bright orange.
Okay. How tall is like the ceiling in this?
And this thing gets about 12 feet. Now it gains a little bit in this chamber in here. It gets to about 15 feet, but it's about 12 to 15 feet throughout this entire chamber.
Okay.
And you can see the backs of three creatures. Let's see, right over here. They do not appear to be paying any kind of attention.
And they seem to be the source of the noise.
Yes,
Okay. Do they look like big or like human-sized?
they're medium sized,
Medium-sized.
but they're tall. They're tall and thin.
What's the noise they're making again?
They're just kind of they have weapons, and they have appeared to, when they're shifting around and just kind of making rock noises, and then they also are kind of talking amongst themselves.
Would it be heavy metal rock noises? Or...
Moving rocks is what I mean. When they step around, they're just kind of stepping, but they do appear to be attempting to be quiet.
The sludge metal. Okay.
Okay. So like soft rock music. Sorry.
Honoa would. Okay, there's creatures ahead. It looks like 3 of them. They're orange. Backs to Bug right now. And
Do we go around or do we just try and fucking murder them? You tell us.
I know
Noah.
it can't hear you.
Good. She's fucked. There's something wrong with this one.
Unless, I guess that's the way that our other guys, or Jared has been doing it with Ben.
Yeah, you don't have the ability to perceive.
Yeah.
When you're looking through the other eyes. Other than feel, you can feel things.
Like sad or...
Barman
Balmy.
do you think those are the little creatures that we fought when we entered the... Oh, where was it?
I thought those were blue.
No, they're the rock creatures that we fought that blew up all the scrolls in the tunnels beneath this cistern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but no, I'm not.
No, if she says that they're medium sized, those are smaller, I believe. But here's the thing: what are we going to do? Are we going to make contact? Do you want me to go in and talk to them? Do you want to be right behind me because they're going to try and murder me as soon as I open my mouth?
I'll back you up.
Okay, I'll do a quick double tap on Honoa's back, and by that I mean with my knife.
I know one last thing that Bug does notice is they do have weapons.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 that you see do have shields, and they do have scimitars. So
They are armed. They are dangerous. And oh, what? You're tapping me. What? Are we in danger? And I'll come out. I'll leave Bug there to hide-ish. What's going on?
I'm gonna go make contact, and Judge is gonna back me up if we have to kill.
one of the things.
Oh no, she is summoning another one. Here it comes.
Oh, there's another Bug.
Yay, 2 bugs!
Bug dude, the electric boogaloo.
One thing to note is that you did hear them speak, through Bug, and you did not understand what they were saying.
I don't know what they were saying, but they were speaking.
So, from where
Don't-
from where Bug is right now, where are they? Are they? Let's see. They're over here. Hold on.
If you go in and go straight and go straight, and it's a big open cavern, and they're on the other side of the open cavern. But I can see really well in the dark.
Yeah, me too. But
Okay, Barman just books it.
I don't book it. I'm just making my way over there. I'm gonna try and get to a position where I can be as far away as possible, but still see them.
From where Bug is at, because
I would have also mentioned there's a tiny little narrow place to get through.
Who has the lantern?
On you.
Do. Are you asking for it?
are you
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sure, I'll pass it over to the judge if he needs it.
Am I being sneaky? Yes, I'm gonna be sneaky, and it's
Okay.
gonna be
And
fucking
I'm walking right
hilarious.
behind you with a lantern.
Oh God.
Watch
Put
it.
it-
Yo, watch how sneaky I am. You ready for this? I'm super sneaky. I'm like a whispered fart in a room full of.
you're not through Bug right now, are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I would have. I want to say I would have paused and to keep an eye on Barman because I can't see up there. I will go into Bug's vision.
At what point now?
Yeah, right where I'm standing.
Okay.
P.S. This map is fucking great.
It's fun.
Yeah, this cavern's awesome.
like the
It's perfect.
shape.
Yeah.
It's really clever.
So a couple things happen at once. The first thing
Oh.
is that Honoa, when you go into Bug, and you've gone up into this area,
Ryan, no.
there is another one of these beings which looks so slightly different, standing right over here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was standing over here, and you notice that it appears to be doing kind of messing with something on its own. You also notice there's a staircase behind it,
Ah.
which goes down. There's a staircase made out of this natural cavern, which goes behind it. It's kind of standing at the top of those stairs. Barman, as you move forward stealthily, you realize that, yeah, you might not have been quite as stealthy as
Oh, what are these tongues? What are these?
They're
These-
so cute.
No,
these
they're-
these three creatures, which are just about like 6 feet high. They are bright red, and they have kind of an amphibian snake face, but they are bright red, and their veins are almost like an orangish. So they're almost translucent, that you can see all their veins throughout. They're definitely bipedal, and they walk on these webbed feet, and then they have like these webbed long fingers. They have these black basalt shields and these long, wicked, curved, blackened scimitars, and
It's sexy as fuck.
they all seem to look back and kind of look in your direction, look back there and wonder, and then you can hear two of them say something, and you hear them whisper and say,
I say, is this the line for the tug room?
so as they
Oh,
do
they've
that,
noticed him. And there's a fourth one too. I'm just narrating.
you hear one of them back over here say, well, in there. So that'll be the end of tonight's game.
Yay!
And next
Because
week,
we got a couple people that are super sleepy.
we get otherwise we get tongued with quadrophenia.
Hmm.
the next episode.
Next episode on
So we
Rules of
cheat.
Attrition.
We get tongued.
We get tongue. No, they're cute. They look like little lava salamanders.
They look like little lava salads for sure.
Lava
Sure,
salads.
nothing could go wrong with this.
Nothing
Yeah,
can go wrong with
Everything's
this.
fine.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you, Matt, and thank all of you guys for coming together for a game. I know it's been hard, but
Also
Thanks,
tough to do. I gotta give you
And-
that.
to
We've
the
had some-
stream.
We've had some real life scheduling problems.
Yeah, you know, real life it sucks.
We will not be playing Rules of Attrition next Sunday, but because I'll be out of town, but we'll be.
I think next Sunday we're gonna do the gauntlet. That
Are
just
we
sounds
doing
like,
overtime the gauntlet?
It sounds like
Oh.
it sounds like too much fun. So yeah.
That sounds like really a lot of fun.
Overtime will be next Sunday, but then the following Sunday we'll pick up right back here with whatever these strange amphibian type creatures,
They look like
whatever
this.
they're doing, wanting to do.
And so thank you, stream or VOD watchers, anybody who would have given us a chance or come to see what's going on. I don't know if the music was pushing to Twitch this time, but I still would like to give a thank to Ben Sounds for music and additional music provided by Scott Buckley at www.scottbuckley.com.au. Hope to see you next week for Rules of Attrition Gauntlet. And again, another week with more Rules of Attrition. Or not Rules of Attrition, Overtime Gauntlet.
You
I'm
got it.
having a
You
great
got it.
time.
You
It's
got it.
Sunday.
You got
I'm gonna
it.
roll
I got
two.
it. I got it. Let's end this.
I'm gonna roll two 12-siders real quick.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, great.
That is a 5 and a 5, so that's 10 total. Did Ben say more than 10 words?
I'm gonna say no.
Don't
As
think it-
Fulker, I don't know if
Yeah.
Fulker ever spoke.
No,
What?
no, he did. He said more.
Seriously?
He said more
We
than
need.
10 words.
I was just trying to check to see if I could roll higher than the number of words you spoke this episode.
He said more than 10 words.
There wasn't a whole lot for me to do.
They were very mono.
Trying to decide if he was going to kill me or not.
Also, he's like, I live in the dark, so I'm very comfortable right now.
Yeah, I'm happy just not being the center of attention and shooting arrows. So
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna turn this shit off, and then we can
arc.
dish the goss. All right. So 3,
The Goss Hawks.
2, dish the goss arcs. 1, bye, folks.
Bye, stream.